Basic to any understanding of Canada in the 20 years after the Second World War is the country's impressive population growth. For every three Canadians in 1945, there are over five in 1966. For every three Canadian Indians, five in September. In September 1966, Canada's population passed the 20 million mark. Most of this surging growth came from natural increase. The depression of the 1930s and the war had held back marriage, and the catching up process began after 1945. The baby boom continued through the decade of the 1950s, producing a population increase of nearly 15% in the 5 years from 1951 to 1956. This rate of increase had been exceeded only once before in Canada's history, in the decade before 1911, when the prairies were being settled. Prairie were being settled. Prairie hunting. Undoubtedly, the good economic conditions of the 1950s supported a growth in the population, but the expansion also derived from a trend toward earlier marriage and an increase in the average size of families. In 1957, the Canadian birth rate stood at 28 per thousand. One of the highest in the world. 28 per thousand. Is it highest? I cannot imagine. After the peak year of 1957, the birth rate in Canada began to decline. It continued falling until in 1966 it stood at the lowest level in 25 years. Partly, this decline reflected the low level of births during the Depression and the war, but it was also caused by changes in Canadian society. Young people were staying at school longer, more women were working, young married couples were buying automobiles or houses before starting families. Rising living standards were cutting down the size of families. Automobile, automobile, automobile. Automobile or houses families. It appeared that Canada was once more falling in step with the trend towards smaller families that had occurred all through the Western world since the time of the Industrial Revolution. Although the growth of Canada's population had slowed down by 1966, the increase in the first half of the 1960s was only 9%. Another large population wave was coming over the horizon. It would be composed of the children who were born during the period of high birth rate period to 1957.